This is the third time I've tried filming this video because I just ramble on and I've spent like 11 minutes talking about one topic and it's just annoying. Let's start the video. ASMR. Oh, my life. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Toni Charlotte. Hi. So today's video is about relationship advice. Now a while ago on Instagram, I asked you guys what kind of advice videos you want. The one that got the most votes was on relationships, and I asked again on Instagram any situations or scenarios that you think would be good for advice. Now you've noticed that I've only got like what, 10 subscribers, so obviously some of these scenarios are made up by my friends. So I picked 4 of these scenarios and I'm going to let you know what the scenarios are, and then on the bottom of the screen I'm going to put what minute in the video they are, just in case you want to kind of skip ahead to a certain scenario. Let's get started. So scenario number 1 is, my girlfriend is very secretive of her phone, especially around me. She's always on it whenever I'm with her and grabs it immediately once she gets a notification. Do you have any advice? Scenario number 2, I really like this girl but she's my best friend's ex. They weren't in a relationship but they dated a few times. Do you have any advice? Scenario number 3. My ex-boyfriend broke up with me over half a year ago. We've tried to remain friends, but in a recent text message he said that he didn't think he loved me, and it's made me feel really upset. Do you have any advice? Why would he say this? Number 4. I have a crush on this guy and we flirt loads, but he's not asked me out yet. Do you have any tips? We'll start with situation number 1. That's, my girlfriend's very secretive of her phone around me. She's always on it whenever I'm with her and grabs it immediately. Let me tell you about technology. Obviously you realise that technology is everywhere. Everyone's always on the phone. You always go to restaurants and you see people on the phones constantly all the time. It is a part of life now. It's so shit that it's like that, but that's just how it is. It's a way of communicating with our friends, with our family, and sharing amazing memes. What you've got to consider is why she'd be on her phone. She might be just talking to her friends, she might be talking to her family, she might just be like addicted to her phone and scrolling through Facebook. All different reasons why people are on the phones. Now if she's very secretive of it, so say if she's got her phone on the table like that, it lights up with a notification and then she goes like that, I'd be a little bit wary. There's 3 things in a relationship that you've got to consider: communication, honesty, and trust. Without one of them, the whole like system breaks down, if that makes sense. Like you can't have a relationship when there's no communication, you can't have a relationship when there's no honesty, and you can't have a relationship when there's no trust. Like those are the 3 things that I consider vital to a relationship. To me, what I would do if it's really, really upsetting and really bothering you, I would sit her down and be like, look, I want a mature conversation about this. I want to talk to you about how I feel about something. I want you to listen to me, and then I want you to express your perspective and your opinion, and I'll listen to you, and I want to come to some kind of resolve. You've got to go about these kind of situations very matter-of-factly, like very maturely, rather than, look, what's on your phone, why are you hiding it? The more you communicate well, the less arguments you'd have of it. If it's literally like she's on her phone all the time and you notice that she's scrolling through Facebook, just be like, look, I understand that you want to see what your friends are up to, or you want to talk to your friends and stuff. When you come see me, can we have like 2 hours where we both put our phones on the side and just spend some quality time together? If she says no, why are you like that? I'd kind of question the relationship a little bit. It's like, why can't you be around me without your phone? If you've noticed that she's getting notifications maybe on Snapchat, or if she's getting notifications and it's from people messaging her, and you know that they're friends, then I'd just kind of ignore that. But if it's just like a random guy that you don't know, I'd be like, yo, what's happening here? The thing that you don't want to do is go on her phone without her permission. It just shows that there's no trust in a relationship, and that's really like crap if someone went on your phone without like your permission. People have private lives, like with a family on there, that they might not want other people to see. So I would just say, look, I've noticed that you're on your phone quite a bit and that you kind of tilt your screen away from me. I was just wondering, is there anything that I need to like be worried about, or why is it that you do that? Phone situations like this are like a massive thing in relationships now. It's a huge problem, and it's because it's become so much easier to get in contact with anyone around the world. And like, if you've been through toxic relationships, it can kind of give you insecurities about trusting other people, and unfortunately you can't get rid of them overnight. So just sit down and talk to her, because the more you bottle your feelings in, the more you bottle your hurt in, the more likely that it'll just get too much and you'll just start an argument. So the sooner you deal with it, the better. And then hopefully she's very understanding. Some people think it's kind of toxic to go through each other's phones. I've got like a different perspective. I think it's toxic to go through your phone without like them knowing. I think if you've got each other's permission, then you feel free to go through each other's phone. Scenario number 2. I really like this girl, but she's my best friend's ex. They weren't in a relationship, but they dated a few times. Any advice? First thing I would do is go to your best friend and tell them the situation. Just be like, I really like, let's call her Samantha. I really like Samantha. We've been talking quite a bit, but we've not really started anything because of like what's happened obviously with you two in the past. I just thought I'd talk to you before and see like what your opinion is, because obviously I'm going to respect that. I'd really talk to your best friend first about it. Let them know that you're cautious of them and that you want to respect them because they're your best friend and you don't want to hurt them by doing it. Because if you did it and they didn't know, then they'd feel like that you can't really trust them and that they can't trust you. Everything's so much more nicer when you actually talk about situations before acting on them. So yeah, I'd ask her how she feels about you and whether she likes you, because if she does, then I'd talk to your best friend. But if she doesn't, then you'd make a situation out of nothing. Your best friend's exes are kind of like a sensitive subject. Depends. I would just literally sit him down and talk to him and be like, look, me and Samantha are talking and I start to really like her. I'm not going to act on anything because I respect you. I just thought I'd ask you what you think about it and whether you'd be okay if we did start anything. See how it goes from there. And if they're not okay with it, you just kind of got to weigh up whether or not it's worth losing a friend over, or whether or not it's worth like losing someone that you could be in love with for like the rest of your life. Situation number 3 was my ex-boyfriend has recently messaged saying that he didn't think he was in love with me or that he loved me in the relationship, and it's really upset me. What do I do? This is another situation where communication is key. Any kind of questions you have, you're not going to get the full answers to unless you actually ask them and message them, or I'd meet up with them so you could see them face to face and see like the true feelings. But if they've said in the relationship that they did love you and you believed it there and then it might be hard because obviously you think you know them and the facial expressions. So I'd question that he thought he loved you but it was actually lust, because it's very common to think that you love someone but it's actually lust, or you're in love with the idea of being in a relationship with someone. In my opinion, I think it's a kind of like crap thing to do. You can't help it some of the time, like you literally can't help it if you think that you're in love with someone and you say that you're in love with them, but then after the relationship ends you realise it wasn't actually love. Like in that moment you thought it was, so it's not that hard for them as people, but it's crap for you. I completely understand how you feel in this situation. I think if one of my exes was like, oh yeah, even though I said I loved you, I didn't. Right now, because I'm in a happy place, I wouldn't mind, but if it was straight after like the relationship, I'd be like, whoa. And I'd feel upset too. It is hard to see positives in certain situations that are so rubbish and so crap. Sometimes the way people tick are they think if I hurt someone then that means that they're going to move on from me, and then eventually they'll be happier and like they'll be happier sooner than if I just led them on as friends. It could be that they've said that to help you move on, and it will help you move on because pain does. Like I think pain really does help you move on, because it's horrible to go through. It's horrible to feel like someone never loved you even though they said they did. It just makes you question yourself. It'll make you question like, well, does anyone actually love me? But like everyone is capable of being loved, but with stuff like that, when you feel that hurt, it's so much easier to be like, right, this guy, I'm off, than it would be if you were messaging them all the time and then you'd like them feelings would still be there. But don't ever please do not ever think that this is anything to do with you as a person, because it's not. The only thing it's got to do with you as a person is like you're crap tasting people. Stuff like that isn't personal. It doesn't mean that your personality is so crap that someone can't love you. It doesn't mean that at all.
Obviously, unless you're a serial killer.
There's always someone out there for everybody. It doesn't mean that you're incapable of being loved or anything like that. It just means that the person you picked to be in a relationship with wasn't well suited towards you, if that makes sense. It doesn't mean that no one can love you, because you can be loved. So I just say now that you just need to shy away from relationships for a bit. You need to concentrate on yourself, concentrate on what you want to accomplish in life and anything that you want to bet yourself in. The more you look at what you want in life, the more you put into yourself and put into making yourself happy rather than relying on relationships. I don't know if you do that or not, it's just like very common in these kind of situations. And the more you realise that you're the person that makes you happy, that's when the right person will come along. I'm a big believer in everything happens for a reason, and this will have happened because the right person for you might be on his way. And I'd not look for a relationship. Like I said, just focus on you. But anyone that you let into your life, like, don't let them in lightly. Like, just make sure that they're the right person for you before you start a relationship. My last situation was, I have a crush on this guy and we flirt loads, but he's not asked me out yet. Do you have any tips? I love this question because it's a little bit chirpier than the rest. We're in 2019 now, guys, and tradition is out of the window. It is gone, it's flown, bye bye, see you later. In life, guys don't always have to make the first move. No, sorry, no they don't. You can make the move. If you're flirting loads, if you really like this guy, but he's not asked you out, he might be nervous. Confidence is key to these kind of situations. You want to be confident, cool, calm, collected, and confident. In this situation, you've got 3 different things. 1, you can just not do anything. Continue to flirt with each other and wait until he asks you out, or never be on a date with him. 2, straight out ask him. Just be like, there's this thing on at the cinema and I'd really want to go there and I'd like you to come with me. Do you want to go on this date with me? Like, you can ask him straight out, confidence, boom. If he likes you, it'll work like a charm. If he just sees you with a friend, then it's a bit awkward, but it'd just be an awkward half an hour in 8 years of your life. It's like nothing you can't get over. The third situation is, you can kind of ask him on a date, but give yourself like a little bit of a, is the right word, a scapegoat, like a kind of area where you can use he wasn't actually asking him on a date. This one's like a little bit calculated. It's very good if you're very nervous and you're scared of rejection. I know it because I used to be scared of rejection. This situation is where you go up to him and be like, oh, do you want to go see this film? And then if they've not seen it, you'd be like, oh, well, I've not seen it and all my friends have, and I just thought like you might want to go see it with me. Because then you kind of, you're asking him out on a date, but you're giving yourself a gateway just in case he doesn't want it as a date, and if he just wants it as friendship, then it's like, oh, my friend's seen it, I wanted to go see it with you. Because then you're showing that you're interested in him, you're showing him that you want him to come with you, you want to like spend this time within this date with him. But then if he's like, what do you mean, like as a date? Or, well, I just thought we were just friends, and you can be like, yeah, we are just friends, but my friends have already seen it and I just thought like you might want to see it too because it seems like your thing. You've got that kind of way out if you don't like rejection. You've got that way of saying, oh, well, it's just his friends. Or you could just be like top notch, really flirty, and just be like, so when are you gonna ask me out on a date then? So I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. Give it a thumbs up if you have. Leave me comments down below of what kind of topic you want advice on next, whether it's family, school, university, anything like that. Give me feedback on my advice as well, because, you know, I accept any constructive criticism. Hope you've enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe. I'll leave all my social media links down below and in the end slate, and I will see you in my next video. I upload every Tuesday and Thursday at 6 PM GMT. Have a good day, guys. Bye.